Four ordinary guys with extraordinary ideas for Disney parks. This is Main Street Musings,
the experimental podcast of tomorrow.
Welcome back to Main Street Musings, the experimental podcast of tomorrow. My name is Eric, and today we have with us the one who brings a knife to a gunfight, Brock.
Say something.
I don't know. Say something.
I said, that's all I had.
Oh.
Sorry. We have with us the one who steals the idol, Tanner.
I just can't resist something that shiny.
And the rock that chases us all out of the building, Jake.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Or sorry, I mean, hey there, hi there, ho there.
All right.
Come rumbling down the hill.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm
Doing
good.
all right, doing all right.
Good.
If you couldn't tell by our very heavily Indiana Jones themed intro, today we are going to be focusing in Adventureland.
Oh, yes.
In Adventureland,
And it's going to be an adventure.
Dark Ride.
Yes. So for those of you who have not been to Magic Kingdom in a while, let's do a quick overview of Adventureland so people are all on the same page.
There's an Indiana Jones ride.
In Disneyland.
Yes.
So it is themed to adventure and in many forms. It's going to be rides that take place in jungles, in the wilderness, rides that have a very strong action-based element, even though they're mostly kind of chill rides. That's where you have your Pirates of the Caribbean, your Jungle Cruise, your Swiss Family Robinson / Tarzan Treehouse.
The most exciting ride in the Adventureland in the Magic Kingdom, the Aladdin Flying Carpets.
I believe the Enchanted Tiki Room is in Adventureland.
Yes,
in Walt Disney
it
World
is.
as well. According to the website here, the official theme is the remote jungles of Asia, Africa, South America, the South Pacific, and the Caribbean islands.
So the remote jungles everywhere.
So I need to change my pitch before we even start. Nah, I'll go with it.
All right, yeah, just roll with it. Whatever your pitch is, Eric, just change it to be like, it takes place
But it takes place in one of these
Africa.
remote jungles, yeah. Nah, I'm good.
So, other than Eric, how is everybody feeling about their pitches?
Pretty good.
I'm feeling okay.
Good.
Eric, I can see pain in your eyes, though.
It's pretty easy to transition out of that. The theming of the queue will have to be adjusted, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Awesome.
It's the part where we make a pitch.
Well, looks like I'm first. So that'll be fine.
Awesome.
Okay. So again, just to double back real quick here, we are specifically doing Adventureland Dark Rides.
Yes.
In that a lot of the stuff that goes on in Adventureland is sort of open air or, sort of we move at our own pace kind of attractions like the Treehouse. Disneyland obviously has the Indiana Jones one, which is kind of dark ride-ish, right? But we are specifically doing dark rides. We're not doing Adventureland attractions at large.
Right.
So my pitch is going to be themed around The Great Mouse Detective.
All right.
A classic.
A traditionally London-based movie.
Correct.
Okay.
But I think it's an easy switch. We're chasing Ratigan. So the queue will have to be sort of off balance with Adventureland. In that we're like in Baker Street, right? It is so The Great Mouse Detective. It's not like exactly Sherlock Holmes, but it's like It's Sherlock Holmes. So we go to Basil's house or something like that, and we find out that Ratigan has been terrorizing the jungles out in the whatever jungle that we're going to. And so we hop on a little plane. It's going to be like our ride vehicle. It's going to take us from London into the jungles. Mm-hmm. And the main hook of this particular ride, I don't have like a huge story fleshed out. I just kind of have like a hook. Mm-hmm. Is that we're given hats at the beginning of the ride, and the hats in themselves have eye reading technology. And so,
wait, are these like deerstalker hats?
Yeah,
like Sherlock Holmes hat.
Yeah, like Sherlock Holmes, like with the long, pointed bills on either side.
Yeah.
And so this is a slow-moving dark ride. I don't want to call it gamified drink, but it's tracking our eyes as we look for clues for Radigan's whereabouts. And as we find them as a ride-going experience, they'll be like highlighted, and we move forward until we find Radigan. Brock, you look really upset.
He looks disturbed.
No, I'm not upset at all. I'm loving this.
Yeah. So we're on the plane. We're searching for clues for Radigan's whereabouts, and then we have a really cool us versus Radigan climactic thing. So, like I said, the story of mine is not hugely played out. I just came up with this hook that I really liked. That is mouse detective related, and we can build it the Adventureland part of it later.
Eric, you prove more and more each episode why the phrase Eric pitch was coined.
Just when I think you can't top yourself, there you go.
Because it's always such a cool idea. But it's always so out there.
Like out of the land. We love you, buddy. Never change.
Thank you. I won't. But I genuinely believe it's easy to take Basil as a character and transplant him into an Adventureland setting. When I was thinking about this, I was just thinking about like, let's go on an adventure, let's hunt for clues and stuff like that.
Right.
And I knew that there was like a jungle aesthetic. I didn't realize it was built into the mission statement of the land itself.
Yeah, admittedly, I didn't know specifically that it was that specific as Jake read.
That's just what it says. And then I've seen in other places too. It actually, I've seen it gets even more specific, where it specifically states that it's like the 1930s.
Yeah.
But in the one I just read, it didn't say that.
Yeah, they often seem to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something too. The time frame added up with what I think of as Adventureland time frames.
Yeah.
Kind of early 1900s, like in that frame. So, giving us a very broad framework to build off of, should we decide to vote for this. But great. Glad I got to go first and have no time to think about it. Like
pulling off a Band-Aid, Eric.
Next up, we have Tanner.
Okay, so my pitch for Adventureland is going to be a Tarzan Dark Ride. What I'm picturing for our ride vehicle is going to be similar to the rumors of what they've talked about with using Spider-Man technology, where your dark ride vehicle can feel like it's swinging on webs. I thought, what if we took that technology and altered it to where we're swinging on vines throughout the jungle?
Nice.
Seeing all sorts of creatures. And then also implementing movement in it where it feels like we're sliding along the trees, much like we see Tarzan do during the film.
Yeah.
And we can come into contact as we're swinging with Tarzan, and we can see all sorts of different apes. We can see different animals, jaguars, as we have kind of scary moments. We have beautiful moments where we dive off the cliffs into the water, and maybe then we swing back on the vine right as we're coming through it. So that is my general idea of what we would be doing. I'm picturing the queue line would be kind of like Tarzan and Jane's house.
Nice.
If because I want to set it after the events of the film, so we won't have a crazy English man with a gun on our ride trying to shoot our ape fathers.
But we could see him get hanged in the end.
So that is the general outline of my ride.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. Check.
All right. So I wrote mine down again this time. Let's see. So, of course, when we talk Adventureland, I have to bring up the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. And I don't care if our audience doesn't like it. They need to start liking it.
So we're going to cut that?
No, we are absolutely not.
So you can start your pitch again, Jake?
The tentative title of my ride right now is Seaplane, but C is S.E.A, as in the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. So, guests are invited to assist Professor R. Blauerhimmel in his latest expedition to a remote and yet unexplored jungle somewhere in South America. The intent is to plot out the land and make maps for future expeditions by the S.E.A. Guests climb into the newly invented all-terrain vehicles, which are explained. I think we could have a better name than all-terrain vehicles. We can get into that. They are explained that they can handle literally any terrain, be it water, climbing up mountains, etc., which then board Professor Blauerhimmel's cargo seaplane, arranging themselves like rows of an airplane. We then take off and begin our flight toward the S.E.A. encampment outside of the jungle. Over the jungle, there is suddenly a problem. The ATVs are heavier than the professor had anticipated, and he miscalculated the necessary fuel. He instructs the riders to use their vehicles to bail out of the plane so he can safely land it and then rendezvous with him at the camp. He will try to maintain radio contact. The vehicles roll out the door of the plane and parachute down into the depths of the jungle. They then begin their perilous journey, encountering danger, wildlife, and even a mystic temple as they attempt to find refuge at the camp.
Cool.
Sounds cool.
I choose not to be emasculated by that. My self-confidence is fully intact.
Good, Eric. I'm glad. I'm also glad that you felt the need to state that.
So, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't actually realize the specificity of the Adventureland mission statement.
So we're going to be in New York City.
But I do think that I picked a property that kind of still jives with the aesthetic and also the adventure spirit of Adventureland, which is Robin Hood. I think, you know, we're still in that forest. We're still having an adventure. And I think that's really the important part. So deal with it.
They're in a jungle in Adventureland, not a forest. They're different terrains and ecosystems.
Wait, isn't Robin Hood also in England?
Yes.
Remember how I just said deal with it? I just said deal with it, guys.
Oh, believe me, I will deal with it. I will deal with it.
Guys. So, we have just been recruited by Robin Hood to become some of his merry men. We are riding along in a wagon as he teaches us some of the ropes of being a merry man, or people. It's a gamified ride.
Drink.
Where the guests have little mounted crossbow type mechanisms. And he teaches us how to shoot. We take target practice. We do all sorts of things. But then he takes us along because Prince John is up to his tricks, and we have to help rescue the money for the people of Nottingham.
Silly Prince John, tricks are for kids.
So we're going on an adventure where we're helping to thwart Prince John and Ka and the royal guards alongside Robin Hood, Little John, Alan-a-Dale, and the rest of the merry men. At the end, of course, we succeed. We are rewarded for our good deeds. Robin Hood thanks us for joining his merry men, and we get to tally up our score.
All right. Do we actually sit and tally it? Like a mini golf?
Everyone is handed an abacus.
It's very period.
There will be a screen, and I think it's kind of tallied as like the gold pieces that you saved.
Okay.
So like that's the conceit of what the points are.
But I can definitely save more gold pieces than like the little kid next to me, right?
Yes.
That's sorry. Jumping ahead to the Q&A portion. But,
Yeah.
Gotta
Well,
know that.
I think we're ready to jump into Q&A, right?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
It's the part where we do Q&A.
So yeah, I have a question for Brock then. You mentioned a reward. In the movie, the reward for the competition is a kiss from Maid Marian. How will that factor into your ride?
We're going to bring in live foxes.
Real live foxes.
Yes. We're bringing live foxes. We're dressing them out as a medieval princess. And you get to smooch it and hope that works out for you.
Okay, good. I am all
She
in.
bites.
No, I just meant we're rewarded with Robin Hood's thanks and as well as our scores.
Like many internships, you're rewarded with experience and the knowledge of a job well done. You can put it on your resume.
The hell else do you want? It's a theme park
You
ride.
offered a reward. You don't have to offer a reward, Brock.
Yeah, in fairness, in no other pitch that any of us have ever done have we offered a reward. You very specifically said we would get a reward.
I used the wrong word, guys. I'm sorry.
We're going to sue you after we ride your ride that we didn't get any sort of reward. That was heavily implied to be monetary as we're collecting gold pieces.
Yes.
I have a question for Tanner.
Yes, sir.
Are you envisioning this more as an experience-based story, or is there going to be an antagonistic force? Or are we just kind of swinging through the jungles with Tarzan?
No, there's definitely going to be a story. I mean, most of it's going to be we swing through the jungles, but then, like in the movie, there's maybe jaguars or cheetahs that we have to kind of encounter as they're making their way towards the ape camp. Not so much, though, like the movie, a human antagonist. It'll be moments of facing other creatures that you'd find in the jungle, and you'd either be escaped from maybe like a crocodile of some sort lunging at you as you're diving into that cliff like I talked about, and then you have to quick grab a vine and swing on from there. Jaguars attacking, and you see, like in the movie, you see Tarzan fighting them off as he tells you to keep swinging back to safety. So things like that would be kind of like the jungle's a scary place. Move from beautiful sight to threat to beautiful sight to threat throughout the ride, having this like swinging adventure just like Tarzan would most days.
Cool.
Tanner.
Yes.
I'm still a little confused. Could you explain your ride vehicle to me in a little bit more depth?
So much like how Universal has the Harry Potter Kuka arm technology of like you're riding in the boat and the arm is actually attached to give you the free motion. I know Disney's been working on something similar to that, but different because Universal patented it. So it's going to be, you're going to be like in a seat type thing. We can talk about what exactly that'll be themed like. Right now, I'm just picturing a general jungly vine leaf thing, and that's going to be in the air. So it gives you the feeling of as you're moving forward, you're kind of like going and on a repetitive swinging motion that changes the tempo as you go through the ride. The best thing to explain it would be it's going to be sitting like you're in the Harry Potter attraction, but you're going to be facing forward and swinging that way.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Eric, what were you envisioning your ride vehicles to be?
I think it's, I envision it as sort of multifunctional. You would be getting in the seat underneath the wing of what would be like a 1930s biplane.
Okay.
And then once we get into the jungle, it would either visually look like it's detaching from it and then be getting into like a canoe or like one of those like power boats that like sends us through the Amazon.
Okay.
And then getting off of that and going into the jungle on little moped style things.
Okay.
So it would visually, like functionally, you would just be in a seat. Visually, when you get into it, it looks like you're underneath the wing. But the dark ride, like the wing could detach itself over time. The dark ride itself makes you, with projection mapping and stuff like that, makes you feel like you're on different vehicles each time.
Okay.
With sound and stuff like that.
Jake.
Yeah.
Is Professor Blue? Is he your original character?
No, Professor R. Blauerhimmel is an official member of S.E.A. Apparently, Blauerhimmel is German for blue sky, so that's a little reference there for the Imagineers. He is a member of S.E.A. that is seen in many photographs, and he appears in some portraits in Mystic Manor, but that is it. He is not associated with any rides or anything else. All they know about him is his name and the fact that he is a pilot. So that's why I thought he would be good for this ride, because he would be flying the plane.
Cool.
Perfect.
And of course, dropping off the very steampunky vehicles that we are riding in.
Yes. Yes. Let's go to the vote. Vote, 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 vote.
It's the part where we vote.
Solid episode, guys. Really good ideas. Like them all around. I am going to vote for Tarzan. I like the swinging technology.
Oh, wow, he's in the room with us now.
I like the swinging technology. I feel like there's stuff that we could talk about in terms of like building the beats of that particular story that are really cool, and I like the baseline of the movement that we have right now.
I am going to vote for Jake in the seaplane idea.
Cool.
I love both of your rides. It's just that's the one that screams most clearly Adventureland to me at this time. I love both of yours. I'd love to talk about them another time, but that's just the one where I'm like, what fits the aesthetic of it? That's the one I see fitting the best into the current iteration of what I know of Adventureland.
All right, sweet. Oh, boy. I am torn because I really actually like all of these. I think I am actually going to vote for Brock because I think I would like to see more Robin Hood in the park. So I think we could make it a little more Adventureland-y, and it doesn't exactly fit Adventureland, what the definition we read earlier was, but I think it has potential. So I'm going to vote for that one.
I am going to vote for Jake's, the seaplane. I just love properties that are specific to the park, and I think it's a really fun Adventureland. It perfectly encapsulates what Adventureland is supposed to be.
I agree.
All right, cool.
Cool. Congratulations, Jake. Fuck all of you.
Sorry, Eric. To be honest, I love your ride.
It's a cool ride idea. I really, once I heard how specific Adventureland's mission statement was, like, oh, I missed the ball.
I will be honest. I didn't vote for it because I like the ride, but I want to in the future hear your initial pitch for it because I feel like you felt the need to change things once you heard Adventureland. So I want to hear like what you had fully intended it to be.
I'll bring it back for the past pitch pod.
The other thing I would like to say is I think some of the elements Tanner described for his ride would work really well with this seaplane ride. So maybe we could still explore those if you don't mind.
I mind. I'm patenting it right now. So I'm going to take it and hold it. But also never pitch it again.
Just nobody else can have it. Okay. So I guess let's dive in. So I had envisioned this to take place kind of in like the 20s, 30s type era. And we're looking at, a big cargo seaplane. And we board these newly invented, very steampunky looking vehicles. I'm thinking there would be 4 people per vehicle, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And this would be a trackless ride.
Okay.
So that we have a lot of opportunity for motion. Also, I think it would be really cool aesthetically if there was a big compass mounted in the dash of each vehicle just to kind of show like that we're exploring. But as a twist, it wouldn't actually be a compass. It would be like controlled by the ride. So we could twist it to point in different directions depending on where in the ride we were.
Cool.
So the vehicles you board, and you're getting this story about Professor Blauerhimmel and how we're going to the jungle and everything. And you board the vehicles, which are just like sitting at I had pictured almost like an airplane hangar. And the airplane is sitting next to us. And then the vehicles themselves get into the plane when we are already in the vehicles. And then they would go into, I'm guessing, 3 rows, 1 on each side. So it ends up looking like we're sitting like an airplane. Does that make sense? So there would be 2 rows of 3.
Yeah.
cars. So it looks like we're sitting in an airplane. And then the door would close behind us and we would have windows and the cars would be sitting, and out these windows, which are screens, it looks like we're taking off and flying. And after a minute or two of that, that's when, oh my gosh, things are going wrong. You need to bail out. The side door opens of the plane and all the little cars get in line and all bail out of the side. And then with screens, we can make it look like we're falling, or maybe a parachute opens over the car and we actually parachute down into the jungle. That was my thought on that. And then once in the jungle, we're getting radio transmissions from the professor. Maybe he's telling us which direction to head, and the cars begin their crazy journey through the jungle. And they're all staying together as a group, but they're not like in a straight line. Maybe they're all taking slightly different routes over trees, under things, climbing over hills, maybe going through streams and encountering all kinds of dangers and stuff. And that's what I would like your guys' help kind of developing that story.
Neat.
It's good.
Yeah. So we're finding our way back to camp.
Trying to find our way to camp, yes.
Okay. So I think that's enough conflict to really work with. And then it's more just introducing obstacles.
Yes.
I would probably argue that there would need to be at least like one through line obstacle, like being chased by something, or I guess it could be a series of obstacles. That also works, but I wouldn't mind seeing somebody who's hyped to steal the ATV technology or something like that. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know if it needs it or not, just putting it out there as we discuss. I don't know the story of S.E.A, so I don't know who this particular seaman antagonist would be.
That would probably end up being an original character.
Yeah.
Even though some of the members of S.E.A are good guys and some of them are bad guys, they don't do bad things to each other.
I think maybe more than a human being antagonist, some sort of creature that we're warned about in the queue that's legend to live
like
in these jungles would
thing.
be the way to go of like, and you see minor obstacles, but as you're going, like that's the big thing is, oh no, you weren't supposed to be in this section of the jungle,
right?
As like maybe like the giant leopard.
Yeah, I'm picturing like a huge albino panther or something.
Yeah, like a saber-toothed tiger type thing. Like they're supposed to be extinct, but he's still around, and he's massive.
I like that, yeah. And that can we incorporate the compass, right? We hit a point of our journey where it's no longer pointing a direction; it just starts spinning like crazy.
Yeah.
And like we veer off course, and then all of a sudden we see like a footprint.
Yeah.
Right, and then we finish the final chase or whatever. I think that's cool. Yeah.
Well, and remember I had mentioned like the mystical temple that we might encounter.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with that, but that might be perfect. Maybe like the natives built it to worship this, cat beast thing.
Yeah, and then, we go in there, it's dark, we see his eyes glowing,
And then he chases us.
Yeah, exactly. We end up seeing all this cool, interesting sort of mythical stuff. I really trailed off at the end there.
We have cool effects, kind of like in Mystic Manor, that kind of, smoke effects, projection mapping, all that kind of neat stuff happening to show that maybe in the temple, maybe there's a statue of the beast and the statue comes to life or something
that's
like
cool.
that.
That'd be cool, yeah.
And then that's what's chasing us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And that gives the opportunity for a really cool moment to use that trackless system and just like send the cars in like reverse out of the thing. Like if
and they scatter. Maybe for a brief moment they each go down a different corridor. So for just a moment you're kind of by yourself, and then we all meet again outside of the temple.
That'd be neat.
Or something like that. And I think having the statue come to life could lead to this cool with the uncanny valley, having a robot cat chasing us. It might not look totally realistic, but if it looks like it's made of stone while it's chasing us, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Cool.
And then we're just vague about which jungle it's in, so it doesn't tie it to a specific culture.
Correct.
Right. I like the idea of saber-tooths just because they're kind of in a lot of different ancient cultures.
Yeah. And they're real. They actually existed, so everybody knows them, and they're rooted in reality, but at the same time, because they're not with us anymore, they have this mythic quality to them.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm picturing it has like eyes made of emeralds, the statue.
Yeah, that's fun.
And
I like that a lot.
glowing.
Yeah, if you backlit them, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I would like to have areas too where maybe to escape this thing, our little vehicles go into a river and then we're actually in water for a little while.
Yeah, and maybe we end up going down a small waterfall.
Yeah, we had talked about in our earliest episode, Brock, you wanted to do a amphibious vehicle. Maybe this is a chance to bring that back, something like that.
That'd be cool.
And then, you could,
that'd be
like
really
you
cool.
said, you could incorporate a waterfall or something like that.
Yeah, I love the idea of using water specifically. And then taking sort of Tanner's idea about falling off of the waterfall, also like having like little plane wings shoot out of our literally all-terrain vehicle.
Right.
Oh yeah, it also includes the air. And we're,
So we glide down.
Yeah, we glide
Yeah.
down.
That's cool.
Into another part of the
And that-
Save
would be
ourselves
how
from
we-
plummeting.
Right.
I feel like the glide is a moment at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe we see the camp. Maybe we're up on a cliff and we
Yeah.
see the camp in the distance and we glide down to it.
I think it's more fun if we are gliding and then we kind of end up where we crashing just happens to be the camp instead of
yeah.
telegraphing like here's the end of the ride, it's coming up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the glide comes after a big moment of being chased by the saber-tooth.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, gliding has never been discussed as one of the ATV's capabilities.
Right.
Yes.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise. I think that's the moment.
Yeah.
I agree.
I also, this is getting a little ahead of us, but I love the idea of like we get back to camp, and I know they kind of do this a lot in Disney rides, but so the professor is there and he sees us and he's like, oh, finally you get here. Where have you been? Like, I'm sure you didn't see anything interesting while you were gone. All right, start helping me unload the boxes or something, and just totally disregards the fact that we just had this crazy adventure and he just doesn't believe us, and it's like, okay, yeah, sure. You know,
Right.
I think that could be kind of fun too.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's neat. Anything else we need to talk about with the ride? Honestly, like I think it's a good ride.
Like, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Are there any other things we could encounter in the jungle? I was thinking maybe like there's an encounter with snakes, or do we think it's enough now that we have this giant statue chasing us?
I think before we go into the temple, there could be some other animal encounters, but they're less like being chased or anything. It's just like, whoa, there's a snake.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like projection mapping snakes from the trees.
What if there's like a little bit of a story beat, so we're told like to worry about the saber-tooth, and then the saber-tooth statue comes to life, but it's actually the physical live saber-tooth that's like blocks us from the statue as we're at the waterfall and is like saving us before we glide off? I don't know.
So you're saying have the real one in addition to the statue one?
Is that too much?
I think it's too much.
I like what you're saying of like having another beast.
Yeah, that saves us.
Yeah.
Like that
What
could be interesting.
What if we encounter elephants early on?
Oh, and then they
and
save
then
us because an elephant never
Elephants save
forgets.
us. Yeah.
Are there elephants in South America?
Not in South America. Is that where we're setting this?
Well, I just picked South America because I thought that was relatively close to Florida.
Yeah, I was just thinking like do an unspecified jungle, but yeah, it can be South America. In which case it wouldn't be.
We could make it more unspecified. We could just say a jungle,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
nobody would question it.
He's just like the jungle.
Yeah. That works for me.
But yeah, if the elephant saved us, that would be cool.
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 Yeah, aside from that, I feel like it's just terrain stuff, and
Yeah.
then a few animal encounters here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to throw in moments with the compass a little bit too, or maybe because like I said, the professor's trying to talk to us on the radio with like garbled transmissions, and maybe we hear him say like head north or something, and then like the cars actually go toward like where the compass is pointing for a little while, and then eventually he says, okay, it's really important that you head west, and we look at our compasses, and then like Eric said, they're all spinning, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, which way is west, you know?
That's
Or
fun.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Man, at this point, Jake, you've designed almost an entire Sealand.
I have designed 2 rides.
2 e-ticket attractions, my friend. We're getting pretty close.
I already did an entire Sealand.
Don't say you wouldn't ride them, Eric.
No, I would.
I
think
would
they're
ride them.
sweet as fuck. I think they're cool.
Okay, I
like
mean,
'em.
are you guys happy with this ride? Do you think that's...
I'm
happy
honestly-
with it.
Yeah, I'm
You
happy
happy
with it.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. I would love to ride this ride.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, let's do it. Too bad. It'll never happen.
Yeah. Boo. I think it would be a great addition to Adventureland.
Yeah.
It would. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah. Oh, well. Well, so I guess, are we ready to lightning round already, boys?
I think so.
I think so.
All right. Let's do it then.
It's the lightning round.
Okay, spinity. Today, we are doing a roller coaster. And this roller coaster is themed to Big Hero 6. A Big Hero 6 roller coaster.
It's a good thing I've seen Big Hero 6.
Have you not seen it, Eric?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
I've seen the opening 5 minutes, but let's just roll with it, man.
okay.
Yeah.
If you guys want to do
yeah,
it.
I was technically... Yeah, f*** it. Let's go.
Okay.
It's part of the
This will be
fun.
interesting. And I haven't seen it since it was in theaters.
Same.
It's me first again.
Yay!
All right, so we're gonna be we're gonna be Hero riding on Baymax through the city, and I have 15 more seconds to fill. So that's going to be in a giant indoor enclosed version of San Fran, Tokyo. We're zipping in and out of the city. We're flying. We feel the wind hitting our cheeks. It's very sensory. It's very good.
All right.
All
Nice. I think as soon as you said Hero riding on Baymax, we were all like,
Yep.
Yep, that was my pitch.
It's the the first time I felt lucky to go first in a Tanner.
All right. So as Google has just helped me find, there's another thing that you can fly around in San Francisco, the flying green turbines as seen in the Disney Infinity game. So we are going to be on one of those, launching through the city, flying around. We'll see our friend Baymax, but we're not riding on him. As we go and we help them and we help rescue Hero. He's been taken by whoever is the bad guy of this movie, and it's a really fun ride.
Disney Infinity's a fun game.
It is. I love Disney Infinity.
I just can't believe I found something that wasn't Baymax on a quick search of like what the movie's about.
Amazing.
Hey, Eric, did you have time to Google or did you just go from your brain?
I just went for my brain.
Props, Eric, props.
Oh, props for the thing that everyone knew about the movie, that Baymax can fly around.
I accept my props. And we move to Jake for the lightning round.
All right. So we are at the part of the film where the microbots have been stolen by the bad guy in the mask, and we are trying to get them back by riding on them, and we are watching the track assemble and disassemble around us as it carries us around, and the guy with the mask is flying around. I'm having a really hard time concentrating, Brock. Stop flipping me off. And the masked guy is chasing us as the microbots form this amazing roller coaster experience for us to ride on, and it's wacky and it's fun, and we all love it.
What the fuck is a microbot?
That was like word for word my pitch, you son of a bitch.
The microbots are something that Hiro invented in the movie, and the bad guy steals them. And they can make anything. You just like, hey, make a roller coaster, and they make a roller coaster. Like, hey, make a spaceship, and they make a spaceship. Yeah.
Huh.
It's not a great movie.
Next up, we have Brock.
All right, so we are going to be experiencing the sort of multi-dimensional travel that is sort of the basis for the background of the villain character. His daughter went missing in this sort of multi-dimensional travel, and he's trying to get her back. So we're going through San Francisco, and then we end up inside of this strange multi-dimensional space in this cool sort of futuristic machine that takes us throughout dimensions.
Nice.
Cool.
I have to say, considering that two of us have never seen the movie and two of us have not seen the movie in a very long time, those are all doable, rideable rides. Honestly. This is not bad. It really wasn't bad.
No, my backup pitch was just free theme rock and roller coaster to be Fall Out Boy. with Big Hero 6 stuff around.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I could have pitched that we just like sat and listened to exposition for 5 minutes. That would have been a fun experience, and it would have basically summed up Big Hero 6. Yeah, we ride on the back of the scooter while our older brother gives us the entire exposition for the movie.
And then he dies.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the ride.
The end. Get off. Go enjoy your day at the Magic Kingdom.
Outstanding.
And don't forget to vote on our Twitter polls for which lightning round attraction you'd like to see us come back to at a later date.
All right, Brock, why don't you take us out of here?
All righty, my friends. Oh, Tanner, don't forget your compass as you go to search for our Instagram.
Oh, how else would I find main_street_musings?
Jake, all those vines have overgrown around our Facebook.
Facebook.com/Main Street Musings.
And Eric, behind you, look, it's a Twitter.
At MSM_podcast.
And I'm Brock. Make sure to give us a rating and review us. Give us 5 stars and tell all of your friends.
Okay, friends.
Tell them now. Call them. Text them. Right this moment. Share this podcast. Send this podcast. Shout it from the heavens. Smoke signals.
Jake, you're getting really aggressive.
This is not aggressive. I'll show you aggressive. You motherfucking son of a bitch!
Oh no, oh no.
And we are out.